I don't think that Coast is my last baby. Now seeing the boys together, I'm like, oh my God, I need another sibling. Just put the baby down. It's time for me to clock in for some me time, okay? I got my moo-moo on. I got a margarita in the glass. Got the claw clip and I'm on my worst behavior. It's been a week. It's been exhausting, let alone I survived a long weekend with no childcare. Time for my childcare to come back and I'm gonna have to jump into another week of life. So you know how I'm feeling about that. I'm feeling Sunday scaries. Sunday scaries. That's why I made a SLUSHi margarita with my Ninja SLUSHi, because I deserve a drink after what I've been through. Honestly, I haven't done a wind down routine with you guys in a hot minute. I feel like Sundays are the days that I never miss me time, because it's at the end of the week. It's also the beginning of a new week. It's like the perfect reset. So tonight we shall unwind. I'm thinking we get into some skincare, catch up a little bit, really give back to ourselves, because if you don't find time for you, who's gonna do it? Because I am literally squeezing in the me time. Like right now, Coast is down. He's been down for 8 minutes. The chances of him being down for the rest of the night are slim to none. So I might only have 30 minutes with y'all. Anthony is holding down Zaire right now. He's putting him to sleep. Bless my man, my man, my man. We're taking that toddler when I need a break. This is one of those nights. So, let's get into it. Let the festivities begin.
A few moments later.
Coast is crying. I'll be right back. 20 minutes later. Finally, Anthony is down. He's officially put Zaire down. So now I can hop in the shower in peace, okay? Let's get back into it. Woosah. Amazing. You know how bad I wanted to just not do my whole shower routine after Coast woke up? Like, it took everything in my power not to just say, forget the shower routine, throw on some jammies, wash your face and go to bed, girl. That would have been a cop-out. But instead, I did what I needed to do and got the job done. That's a win. We're ending the week on a good note, and we're setting the tone for the week as well. So we need to get caught up. A lot has happened, and I feel like y'all are behind just a little bit. So time for some life update. I started therapy. I think we need to start there. Your girl has been going to therapy. Now, this is not my first time being in therapy. I've done therapy multiple times in my life. I think the first time I went to any form of therapy was high school. I had a high school counselor and I had tragedy happen in the family, a sudden death, and I went to a high school counselor. That was my first time talking to someone about my feelings in a professional setting. Then I went again in college because I was having this identity crisis where I didn't know where I fit in, and I felt like I was having a hard time being completely myself in front of people, and I just was really all over the place when it came to that. So I literally went to therapy for that, and then ended up going to therapy all throughout college because it was basically free. After college, I didn't see a therapist until I moved to Dallas. I started doing therapy at that point because I was about to get married and I had just started my business and I moved to a new place with no friends. So I just felt like therapy was a good place for me to work through all the things that I was feeling. Now, fast forward to this time, now I'm in therapy because I have a lot going on in my personal life. My parents are moving here, freshly postpartum. I've been in postpartum for 3 years. I'm running a business. I'm trying to be a good wife. I'm trying to show up and do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And I just feel like I need a safe place to feel my feelings. And so I started up therapy again. And the hardest part I think about starting therapy is that low-key therapy is like dating. People don't say that, but it is. When you go to meet your therapist, you're literally like, bruh, you don't know nothing about me and there's so much to unpack. And I think that's why I put off going to therapy for so long, because I was like, where do I even start? How do I even catch this lady up to where we are currently at? Because the history matters. And so that for me, I don't know why, it just took me so long to be like, I'm gonna have to start fresh with someone. Let's do this thing. But I'm like so glad that I pulled the trigger and did it and put myself back in, because when I tell you I've only been to 3 therapy sessions and I already feel 10 times lighter, why did I wait? Also, don't mind my bathroom, it's low-key a mess, but I don't understand why it took me so freaking long to just go. I should have gone so long ago. But we're in therapy, we're feeling good about that, and I actually really like the lady that I found. If you guys have not heard of Black Girls Therapy, that's how I found my therapist. It's basically a roster of therapists that are for African Americans or Africans, and it's really easy for you to find someone of color in your location that specializes in different types of therapy. So I used that, found a therapist, and I love her. So glad that I just did it and ripped off the Band-Aid. So that's a huge win for me right now. What else do we want to get into? Oh, I've been dying for my nighttime skincare routine. I feel like it makes me so freaking happy. And I've been switching it up a little bit. So let's see what we're gonna get into tonight. I think this is what I'm on for the night. Bed. The other life update is the fact that my kids are growing so freaking fast. Could not be prepared for how fast the second child goes. Why didn't anyone warn me? Coast is literally so big, y'all. It's tripping me out. He is doing literally all the things. He is trying to talk. I swear he said mama today. I literally almost jumped off a cliff. I was like, what? Did he just say my name? And he's just doing all the freaking things. And he wants to crawl. He is scooting across the mat. He is sitting up so good. He is an observer. When I tell you he observes everything that his brother is doing, he is going to be running before I know it, and it is freaking me out. I feel like with your first child, everything just moves so slow, but with your second child, it's like boom, bus, club, no sleep. It's crazy. I am tripping out every day watching him and all the new things that he's gonna do, and it's crazy because we put Zaire in school, Montessori school, around 14 months. I know there's gonna get to a point where it's like he's gonna know that his brother's going to school and he's gonna be like, where's Zaire going? I wanna go. And Zaire, we waited until 14 months, but I feel like the only reason we were really waiting is because we wanted him to walk first. I don't even think we're gonna make it to 14 months. I think Coast is gonna wanna go right at 1 year. The moment he starts walking, I feel like it's game over, because me and my husband, we both work from home, y'all know this. And once your kid starts walking, they can find you anywhere in the house. There is no safe place for you to go in the house. And once he starts walking, you can pop in the room and say, mama, game over. Bruh, send me up, sleep, sunk. Like, what? No, I can't. Oh. So yeah, Coast is growing, and Zaire is just becoming the sweetest, most smartest boy in the world. He is just so good at communicating what he needs now, what he wants. Yes, he's a 2-year-old, and yes, he's a tyrant, and he's testing, and he wants to do everything himself even when he can't, and it frustrates him. But at the same time, I love the sense of independence and like that determination that he knows exactly what he wants. He's gonna tell you what he wants, and like he doesn't shy away from it. He's a confident kid, and that just makes me so proud, because I really feel like those type of skills can get you so far in life. He loves to analyze things things, see how they work, put things together, take them apart, put them back together again. Got something from somewhere, when he's done with it, he wants to make sure that it goes back. And that's totally Montessori school props right there. Yes, I try to teach him that, but they're so good at school of telling him when you're playing with this specific thing, you only get to play with one thing at once, and then when you're done with it, you have to put it back. And he does the same thing at home. I guess the hardest thing that we're running into with Zaire right now is potty training. I am terrified of potty training because it's obviously going to be my first time doing this. And I know that every parent does this, and I understand that like it's just something that every parent has to go through, but I don't know why it's so intimidating to me. The thought of having to go commando for a weekend or watch him when I have to watch Coso clip carefully too, I just get so overwhelmed, but the time is now. We have to do it. And I just need you all to hold my hand while we do this because I'm actually not going to be well. I'm praying that he just like, gets it. I'm praying that it just all works out, but why do we have to potty train our kids? Is there any other option? Please opt me in because I'm scared. Other than that, the boys are doing great. And I really can't complain. I really feel like me and Anthony are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think the first 6 months with 2 under 3, which was once 2 under 2, is the fact that they both are babies, but they're living 2 extremely different lives. And I just feel like that was the hardest adjustment, is that Coast's schedule is so demanding at the beginning for the first 6 months. Feed, change, sleep, again, over and over and over again by hour, you know what I mean? And Zaire's 1 nap a day. Zaire was going 100 and Coast was going 100, but they were doing completely different things. And so me and Anthony were like, shoop, because we had to like split up and navigate the both of them. Finally, Coast is down to 2 naps a day and 1 cat nap if we have a good day. And that has changed everything because I really feel like, and he's also sleeping better independently. So his naps are actually decent. He'll go down for 2 hours now. And so now that's given us a sense of like, we're a family again, because it really felt like we were separate there for a second. But now we can do nighttime routine together with both of the boys, and like they eat dinner at the same time, they have lunch at the same time, they can play in the same space because Coast is now a little bit more mobile and he's moving on his mat, and like he does independent play really well, and so does Zaire. So there's just a lot of things that we can now finally do together. And I just want to say, if you are in a rut with your kids and they're in different stages, the time will pass. Just push through. We really feel like we're at the cusp of sanity. We've made it on the other side and we are literally like, wow. So just hang on. It's going to get better. I promise. We've talked about the kids. We've talked about therapy. Now let's talk about my parents. So you guys know my parents have officially moved to Dallas. My dad is retired. My mom is retired. They are here. My mom is here because, again, we became her caretaker really close to when Coast was born, and so we've been taking her to a ton of appointments and things and getting her the treatment that she needs. And so my dad has relocated here for the time being. I don't know if they're staying in Dallas forever, but for now, they're going to be here, and we feel so blessed to have them here. At first, I was super nervous. I was like, what are they gonna do? They don't have friends here. They're only family. What is it? But just having an extra set of hands around is honestly like a godsend thing. I just feel so blessed that my kids are getting this time with their grandparents, because I didn't know if they were ever gonna get that time. And I had really accepted when we had moved to Dallas, my kids were probably not gonna have their grandparents near them, and I was trying to make peace with it in my head, but it honestly made me kind of sick, because I grew up with my grandparents 10 minutes away, and they picked us up from school, and they were at all of our sporting events and always there. And so I was like, oh my God, so my kids are not gonna have that on either side if I live in Dallas. So now that my parents are here, finally we have both of our parents here. Both of my parents here. And I'm just so excited for it. It's crazy. The other day, we were literally at the water. We forgot towels. And we're like, oh my God, how did we come to a water without towels? Are we wet? Oh my God, our kids are going to be frozen after this. And I was like, wait, I can call my dad. He's 5 minutes away and he can bring us towels. And he brought us towels, and it was just like, oh my God, we're not alone. We're actually not alone. It's crazy. I'm gonna leave. Hello? Coast needs it? Yeah. I'm coming. My bad, y'all. I just dipped on you. I'm so sorry. Coast's nose was a little stuffy, so we just had to go suction his nose. I feel so bad though, because that means he's awake, and that means he potentially could be getting a cold. And that's the other thing. I know we were talking about my parents. Yes, I'm so excited for them to relocate. But having 2 kids means that once one gets something, the other is gonna get it. And Zaire has a stuffy nose, which means Coast is probably gonna have a stuffy nose. Anthony's saying that he's coming down with something. And I, for some reason, always slip by without getting grazed. So please let me know in the comments, are you the person that never gets sick in your family, or are you the germ that always gets sick in your family? Because I know we're all one or the other. We cannot be both. And I'm definitely not the germ. I am the warrior. I'm the one that is standing last when the battle is over. I'm still standing strong. That is me. That is not my husband. So I'm just praying that he doesn't get super sick, because we have to leave for a vacation ASAP. And I low-key need to make sure that he feels somewhat good. Otherwise, being on vacation with 3 sick people sounds like my worst nightmare. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So there's that. Anyways, back to my parents. So I've been moving them into their apartment. They have the cutest 2-bedroom apartment with the best patio space ever. And it's just been so fun putting this space together. I grew up in a little over 1,500 square foot home, and I am 1 out of 5. So do I have 4 siblings? Yes, I have 4 siblings. Sure, I'm doing the math right. Crazy. But basically I was part of a big old family, and we lived under one roof, and it was pretty tiny. I would say that I grew up lower middle class. My dad was a teacher, and my mom worked at a grocery store. And so they've been in the same home since I was born, and they have never left that home. So them being here in Dallas is low-key such a big deal and such a big life change. Texas is not California, as you guys know. And so there's that adjustment. And then on top of that, they moved into this apartment, has no furniture. They moved with no furniture. It's a completely different vibe than what their place looked like. So we're trying to make it like this little retirement oasis for them. And if you guys have seen my series on TikTok and Instagram, it's just been such a fun process. Them picking out what they like, what they're into, what they want this new space to feel like. They've never really gotten to do that. It was always like, put our kids first, forget about ourselves vibes. And so now they're getting this new wave, this new chapter where they get to put themselves first for once. And it is just the most beautiful, healing thing. They have always put their kids first, and they put everything else on the back burner, and I love them. They were great. They gave us everything that they could, but it's now their time. And I just feel so blessed and so happy that they are getting this time. Even if they don't stay here in Dallas forever, just this time to reset without any distractions, without anything put in their laps. They're removed from everyone, so no one can really ask them for anything. And so it's really allowing them to have that quality time that everyone deserves, and they deserve in this chapter, going into retirement, being on their own again, the whole thing. So I'm just so thankful to God and to life and this journey that I get to witness my parents go through this chapter, which I never thought they would ever have. And I just feel really blessed. Also, side note, if you haven't seen this Medicube mask that you wear overnight and it dries and you peel off, I don't know what side of the internet you're on, but you're on the wrong side. It's amazing. It's a collagen mask. It's great for firming the skin. I'm in my 30s, baby. We're not playing about this self-care. The wrinkles are coming for me, and I'm not gonna have it. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about, honestly, is it's so crazy, and I wanna have an open conversation about this. I have gone so back and forth since I'm now done breastfeeding. Also, I'm done breastfeeding. With like what I want to do. I don't think that Coast is my last baby. That's so crazy to say, because I was really just like, wow, I messed that up. I really was like, I'm gonna have 2 and be done. I know it. But now seeing the boys together, I'm like, oh my God, in like 3 years, they need another sibling. They're gonna be the best big brothers we could ever give to another sibling. And because they're so close in age, they're just gonna be the best dynamic duo for older brothers. And so now I'm like, oh my God, what does this mean for me? I sometimes feel like I want to get work done, and then I'm like, no, girl, don't do it. That's not you, blah. The only thing I've really ever gotten done transparently, and I've told you guys about this, are my bottom teeth are veneers in the front because I had this crazy tooth situation. And then other than that, I got at one point like the tiniest lip filler and chin filler. And then that's it. That's the most work I've gotten done. And now that I'm off breastfeeding, oh, and I got my eyebrows microbladed at one point, very thin strokes, and it's still kind of there, barely. I got it really like thin. So those are like the only things that I've done. But there's a part of me that's like, get your boobs fixed, get the tummy tuck, do whatever you want, get Botox, all this stuff. But then I'm just like, no, bro, no. There's something so beautiful about aging, and there's something so beautiful about my body right now. It's taken me some acceptance to say my stomach now has major stretch marks and like I have a lot of loose skin, but that's my story. This body carried life and like it's a part of my story, and removing it, I don't know, something about it. I'm attached to this version of me, but at the same time, I'm like, baby, if you want the snatched situation, you can't get it through working out, go get it done. I don't judge anyone for doing anything. I just don't know what I want to do. And so I probably am not gonna do anything. I thought I was gonna go and do everything after I had coast. I'm gonna get my boobs on, I'm gonna do this, but right now, I don't think I'm gonna do any of those things. I think I'm just gonna chill and try to love this version of me as much as I can in this chapter, because this body deserves love and this body is me, and I need to really grow to accept it. If I decide to do something later, amazing, great, whatever, but right now if I did it, I wouldn't be able to live with that. I think I need to learn how to love this body before I do anything, and when I feel confident walking out in a two-piece bikini and everything just is the way it is, then I can sign myself up for something. But I don't want to do it because I can't stand myself. I want to do it because I'm just like, why not? I love her. I'm ready for a new chapter. So I don't know. Does anyone else go back and forth with this? Any moms out there, or anyone doesn't even have kids but thinks about getting work done? I don't know why I go back and forth. And the fact of going under for a procedure is so freaking scary to me. The only thing I've gone under for is my tonsils. That's it. So the thought of me going under to get my boobs done or something, that sounds so scary. What if I don't wake up? Bro, I have kids. I can't fathom. So I've been going back and forth, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I do know for the next 2 years, I'm not gonna do anything probably. And if I do anything, I will definitely tell y'all, because I do believe that being on the internet and being in this role and having this community of women, it's so important that I'm transparent with you about what I've done and what I'm doing, because I would never want someone to look at me and think, damn, she looks so good, and I actually did something to look that good, that I'm not gonna pretend like it was a workout plan. You know what I mean? I don't want anything to ever feel not real here. I want to have a transparent conversation with you guys always, because it's my job to do that. I think that's fair. I would hate for someone to compare themselves to me if I wasn't speaking my whole truth. And so I will always be transparent with y'all. Y'all know that. Been like that since day one, and I will ride at dawn for that transparency. Anyways, that really concludes this little wind down routine. I just really felt like we needed to catch up, have a heart to heart. It's been a minute, and I'm here to stay. I'm here to be me. I'm here to vibe with y'all, and I hope you're vibing with me. This was a fun little date night. I hope while you're watching this, you're winding down. I hope you're doing something for yourself. I hope you're filling your cup, honey, so that you can show up for others. Fill up that cup, even if it's with a margarita. When it's empty, fill it back up again, because I'm about to go get myself another one. Anyways, it's been real, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you back more stuff. You feel me? I need to go to bed. Bye, y'all.